Hey guys, Markeeps here, and in this video we'll be checking out Newfie's first all-aluminum low-profile custom keyboard, the NOS75. Newfie did send this board out for an honest review, but like with all my other videos, all thoughts and opinions are always my own. So the NOS75 is a low-profile keyboard kit available straight from Newfie's website, priced at $199.99 when you bundle it with their N1 Nano low-profile switches, and you can choose whether or not you want the switches factory lubed. Then pricing can go up depending on whether or not you pick up any extras, like keycaps, which you'll definitely want to do, or any of the available extra plates in case you're not big on using the board's default FR4 plate. Now we move on to the unboxing. Opening up the box, first we get some documentation with a build guide and a quick start guide with some of the board's shortcuts. Then we get the board itself wrapped up in this nice microfiber cloth. And in the bottom of the box, we get some of the accessories and the other add-ons the board comes with. First we get a rubberized coiled USB Type-C to Type-A cable. Then we get a screwdriver, a Newfie branded combo switch and keycap puller, and all of these individually packaged alternative mounting options, which include a set of silicone gasket strips, 2 sets of silicone gasket beans, one harder and one softer, some gasket socks, and some screws for either top or bottom mounting the board. Now taking a look at the board, it's an all-aluminum exploded 75% standard ANSI layout low-profile keyboard in this nicely anodized silver. Overall, the casing looks very sci-fi-esque with its curved left and right sides, which have these pill-shaped RGB LED indicators on both of the sides. Honestly, the board is giving me the same vibes as a high-end Apple product, kind of like a Mac Mini or Mac Studio, which makes pairing this board to an Apple ecosystem setup feel kind of like the go-to move here. Anyways, checking out the side of the case, you can really tell that the board is low to the desk. The board has a front height of just 18mm and a 5-degree typing angle, so there's really no need to even use a wrist rest with this board. Now checking out the bottom of the board, there are 4 hex screws, an aluminum weight with a milled out logo, and this really smartly implemented large single case foot which surrounds the entire case wedge. Then over towards the rear of the board, there's just a single USB Type-C port in the center and nothing else. Now when it comes to software customizability, Newfie have made the NOS75 QMK and VIA compatible, with the JSON file available to download from Newfie's website. Then the stabilizers that come stock with the board are these factory lubed low profile stabs that are lubed pretty well and don't need any extra tuning. So now I'll be building out the board totally stock with some parts that Newfie sent over. For the parts, starting with the switches, Newfie have sent over their new collaboration switch with Gateron, the N1 Nano switches. The N1 Nano switches are a 5-pin low-profile linear switch made up entirely of palm with an 18mm single-stage spring. They actuate at 50 grams, bottom out at 60 grams, and have a total travel of 3.4mm. The switches are pretty unique in that they use the same pin layouts as a normal switch, so Newfie and Gateron are the first brands to pave the way to standardizing compatibility between low-profile and regular switches. So technically a board could be designed to take advantage of both low and normal switches sometime soon. The tight tolerances with the NOS75's case though does only make it compatible with the stock N1 Nano switches, so as of recording this, these are the only switches that will work with the board for now. Then for the keycaps, Newfie have also sent over their new Maya Imprint NSA profile keycaps. These are a high-quality double-shot PBT low-profile set with some nice minimalist legends and Mayan-themed novelties. But just in case you aren't big on the novelty caps, the set does also include the normal and simpler-looking keys inside the box. And with that, that's this first build done. Now here's a quick sound test, and I'll follow up with a teardown and a rebuild. Now to get the board open, I'll be taking off the 4 hex screws underneath the board to get the top case off, and then disconnecting the JST cable that connects the daughter board to the PCB. Then taking a look at how the board handles mounting, it's gasket mounted by default using some silicone gasket socks, but you're free to use any of the other mounting options that are included in the box. Then after removing all of the plate standoff screws, we can take a look at the plate assembly. It's made up of an FR4 plate, some thin plate foam, some IXP foam, and a clear plastic switch film sheet. Now looking at the PCB, it's got south-facing RGB LEDs, is hot swappable with Gatoron hot swap sockets, is solid without any flex cuts, and doesn't have any alternative layout support. So you're stuck with the default standard ANSI layout with a 6.25U size spacebar. Then inside the bottom case, there's some rear PCB foam and some thin case foam. The bottom case has some pour-on gaskets and silicone corner inserts installed to help dampen the top and bottom case's contact, and it helps eliminate any and all case ping. And that's pretty much it for a general overview of the NOS75. Now I'll be rebuilding the board with a different mounting method and some of the extras Newfie sells alongside the board. First, we've got this external weight for the NOS75. It comes safely packed inside its own box, and right away we can see it comes in this gorgeous looking blue colored PVD mirror finish. Now this is purely an aesthetic add-on, so if you want to get your hands on this PVD mirror weight, it'll cost you another $49 on top of the board's cost, so definitely not the cheapest. Then, out of curiosity, I wanted to try and see if the board could hold its own in a foamless config, so I took out all the foams and installed the aluminum plate. Getting these low-profile switches on was really tough because the aluminum plate had all of these flex cuts. So I had to install all of the switches onto the aluminum plate first, and then press the plate and PCB together to get them seated properly. Then for a different mounting method, I'll be going with top mounting, using the provided mounting hardware that comes in the box. And now that the build's done, here's the final typing test. Then I'll give my thoughts on the NOS75 right after. Alright, so I don't personally have a lot of experience with low-profile keyboards, with the last one I checked out being Newfie's own Air 96 V2. But with the release of this new NOS75, I'm really impressed with a lot of things this board is doing, especially the direction Newfie are heading in with low-profile keyboards. See, for the longest time, there's been this huge divide between low-profile keyboards and regular custom keyboards that use standardized parts. The new N1 Nano switches from Gatoron theoretically make it possible to use low-profile switches on normal profile boards, and vice versa, because of the standardized switch pins. So I'm really hoping in the near future, we'll see boards with support for both low and normal profile switches, since it just adds another layer of customizability to an already feature-rich hobby. Now talking about the board itself, in the board's default configuration, out of the box, fully foamed up with the FR4 plate, the board just had that deep, marbly and thocky sound, without any case resonance, or any case ping. Running the board foamless though isn't really the best sounding because the lack of foams really makes the board sound a lot more hollow and empty, with the case resonance sometimes sounding a lot more audible than the actual typing sound. So if you do want to go for the PE foamless config, I do recommend keeping the case and plate foam in to mitigate the hollowness. Now when it comes to typing feel, while Newfie gives you a lot of options in the box with their OmniMount system, the overall feel of the NOS75, regardless if gasket or top mounted, is still pretty stiff without much room for the plate assembly to move around inside the case. And that's just the nature of how low profile boards work, with the main trade-off being room for bounce and flex put to the side for an overall more compact case. For me personally, I would just keep the default gasket socks on, but feel free to play around with the different mounting methods to see what works best for you. Now build quality and design-wise, this low-profile board is built super solid. The anodization job is clean, the board looks sleek, minimal, and I'm a fan of its overall design. I think if I just had one complaint, it's super minor and doesn't really affect my thoughts on the board all that much. I'm pretty sure you noticed by now, but this board isn't at all wireless capable. It's strictly wired only, which I think is a big miss on Newfie's part, since normally all of their boards are wireless capable by default. I'm not sure if Newfie is already working on a wireless variant of this NOS75, so if you absolutely need the wireless capabilities, you might want to wait till a wireless version comes out. But other than that, for Newfie's first attempt at a premium DIY low-profile custom keyboard, I've got no other complaints. It's a great addition to their lineup. So with that said, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and drop a like, as these videos take a lot of work. And if you want to see more content just like this, please consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot. All relevant links will be down below in the video description. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time. Merkeebs out.